Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever the heck you are. I'm glad you're here. All right, guys, this is lesson number 4 for Monday, March 23rd, 2020. This one is on writing a package. Now, you guys know the deal. Every day, every e-learning day, I'm giving you a new media tech lesson. How do we do that without a camera and editing gear at your house? It's easy. We do it the Heinz way. What's the Heinz way? Easy. It's a little childish, a little stupid, but then again, so is high school. Anyway, each day you'll have a warm-up and a short video from me, some notes in Google Classroom, and an assignment to make sure you know the material. Don't worry, we're going to keep this short and sweet. You're going to walk away knowing the classwork, but we're not going to burn your entire day away. That's not the point. Really, I just want you to learn, okay? So you'll have the daily warm-up, you're going to have this video, and then you'll have a small piece of classwork. Okay, Abe Froman, the sausage king of Chicago? Let's hit it. Today we're going to go over the proper way to write a package. Now, some of you MediaTek 3 and 4s already know this. Some of you aren't very good at it, so let's just keep up. And if you're not done in 50 minutes, you can find yourself a new best friend. Packages are the protein of any good news lineup. They usually have reporters out in the field covering the major news stories of the day. Most of the time, they're on the scene talking with the main characters of a big story. Now, there are a number of ways to write a good package. The first, and maybe the easiest, would be called the donut. Don't laugh. They call it a donut because you start and finish at the same point, a circle, like a donut, with a reporter. Another name for this would be called a wraparound, again, because the reporter is wrapping around content, like a hug. Capiche? Here's an example of one, and I'll kind of edit it, but you'll see Macy start and finish with some sound bites in the middle.
And one of the more unique CTE classes offered here at Hanahan is Auto Tech with Mr. Van Manen.
We offer a lot of automotive knowledge.
Another one of the CTE classes offered is Media Tech with Mr. Hines. In fact, you see what we do there each week with the production of Hawk's Eye View.
Another example of this would be a traditional news package. This would have sound bites and a reporter's track, a stand-up, and some nat sound. Here's an example of one of those from some of my work in Philly. This one I did win an Emmy for. I know, I did. Pay attention to see how there's no dead air. Everything rolls right into the next. Something is always happening in this story.
10 minutes to 6.
10 of. That's AM, not PM. And there's only one event in Philly that could bring more than 20,000 beer-drinking fans to the Wachovia Center. The 12th annual WIP Wing Bowl.
Hey, Mom.
As the Wing Eaters prepared for their introductions,
It's the biggest Victim Party trophy they ever saw.
predictions were made.
With the competition here today, I'm aiming 180, 200 wings.
Did you see how the tracks, nats, and sots all played off one another? That isn't an accident. You work creatively to make that happen. Shoot your video to accentuate your sound. Listen to your nat sound bites to grab video that they're talking about. Listen for nats that you can use to break up sots and tracks. Now, I'm a huge believer in nat sound, and you guys have probably heard me say this before. I believe it brings you closer to the story and kind of makes you a part of it. It brings the viewer in. In fact, another way to tell that story without a reporter is called a nat sound package or a nat sot package. Here's an example from another Emmy winner I did in Philly. I went up to Manhattan to do an insane race called the Ironman.
The bike ride was fine. The only problem was I had to hydrate so much.
My feet started killing me, but I got through it. I was excited to get on the run course.
The trick with the bike is to save something for the run.
13:28, 14:42.
Every athlete who competes in this event is clearly of a level that we could only dream of being at.
I worked 28 hours that day. It was long, and it was very, very, very tough to deal with all that stuff. Maybe not as hard as writing, shooting, and editing 10 days of lessons plans in just 2 days under the specter of a pandemic, but close. Just remember, not all heroes wear capes. Hindsight has your back. All right, guys, gals, here's your assignment for today. Make sure you did your warm-up. Now I want you to write a package. Pretend that you have a crew with you. Maybe you're the cameraman, maybe you're the reporter, it doesn't matter, right? You and a news crew are going out in the field to do a package. You can make it about whatever you want, but I want at least 2 voice tracks, I want at least 3 sound bites, 2 nat sound breaks, and at least 1 stand-up. And since we don't have the cameras and editing equipment, you can literally make up any type of news that you're gathering, okay? Note in your Google Doc what is what. I want to know where the nats are. I want to know if the reporter is talking or if the interview subject is talking. Again, you don't have a camera and an editing system, but pretend you do. This is your job. Shoot and write a virtual package for me. And now I'll wrap this up, but a couple of parting shots before I go. And you know we've done this the last couple of ones. The first thing I'm going to leave you with is a quote, like I always do. This is from a very smart guy named Ferris Bueller. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. Remember, no matter what you're doing, take life in. Stop and smell the roses. It's insane the stuff you miss when you're so focused on doing what you're doing. Pick your head up and look around. And I'm not saying, you know, as some poetic genius. I learned this a long time ago. All the cool things I did, sometimes you just got to stop and say, wow, am I really here? Am I really doing this? And you can do it with the bad things too. Like with all this nasty craziness that's going on right now, look around and say, what the heck am I living through right now? Because I guarantee you're going to be telling your children and your grandchildren about this. So yeah, take in life and understand what's going on.
Bueller.
Bueller.
Grace! Bueller. 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 Ferris Bueller.
So we were talking about writing packages today. Want to watch a great movie that is the total package of a different sort? Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's widely regarded as a classic movie and a must-see. Plus you guys can relate. It's about taking off from school. By the way, the quote I gave you is from Ferris Bueller a little earlier.
Oh, you know him.
Want a good song? Mr. Jones by the Counting Crows. Now, I'm not saying that I once listened to this song on repeat, non-stop, driving from Charleston to Charlotte. But I will tell you that there was one trip I took to Charlotte from Charleston where I listened to the song Mr. Jones non-stop for 3 hours from Charleston to Charlotte. Yeah, it's that good. So trust me, take a listen to Mr. Jones by the Counting Crows. And finally, I know you want another book recommendation because you love them all. Capone by Lawrence Bergreen. Friday, I recommended a book about Frank Sinatra. He was a straight G. This Capone book is all about a real G. Read it. You'll love it. Seriously, I promise you, you're going to love it. My challenge for you today is to be smart. Seriously, I know some of you haven't really done a lot of this work, but do it. Catch up on all your work. It's early in the week. You still have a lot of week to go. Don't get so far behind that you're scrambling. It's a lot easier just kind of doing a little bit of this at a time and relaxing than having 3 days worth of work that encompassed 4 classes over 10 days. That's 40 classes. Now, do a little bit at a time. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about here. All right, so with that, tomorrow we're going to talk about why facts matter when you write scripts and why it's important to get things right. All right, that's all the time I got today. All right, time for you to hit the books. And after you hit the books, please clean that room. It's ungodly. Seriously, you should be embarrassed.